Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the official ARK podcast number 236. My name's Coach Mistletoe, and I'm here live with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Mr. Atlas. Please take it away, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Mistletoe, and folks, welcome back for another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. This is a fantastic day, Saturday, June 24th. Over here in Europe, they are celebrating the day of San Juan. They celebrate that all over the world. It's a saint's day. I know in South America, they dance to the drums. Our very own Rafael Soto probably knows a lot about that. He's a percussion player, master of the drums. And we're having a fantastic day here, looking at our volume, 27K, 13,000 buy, 13,000 sell, ILC in high gear. Taking in the buys, we are seeing some folks step up. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our stats. Total ARK vault accounts are 5,483. Still a bit on the slow side. We need to increase that, and we know we will. It's a matter of if. It's a matter of when, and we know when to when. As we go out and we do one of the things we do best, folks, which is win hearts and minds. Go out on our tour, talk about these fantastic utility products, turn some heads. We're going to see some jaws drop to the floor when folks understand what the ARK has been cooking, what they're delivering, the hardened clay, the products that we're very proud about, that we can't wait to get into so many people's hands. We're looking at doing some billboards. We want to get the word out. We want folks to understand that they're not stranded, especially the folks in America, understanding that their finance accounts are facing a situation where they can't cash out. Understanding that all over the world, it's happened in the Netherlands, France is next, Canada. I mean, they're dropping like flies. We know there's a takeover happening from Wall Street. They want to get into crypto. And I do want to remind everyone, it is a positive, but there's also an element there, folks, that you have to take into consideration. These corporations, they want to custody folks' crypto. That is not what we're in this for. We want to custody our own crypto. We want to be able to transact using crypto, not just have a ETF or CFD, something that represents which they are holding the keys to, which is in their possession. And we have so many folks that we want to educate, and we want to show them that there are ways that you are able to earn yield, you're able to control your wallets, you're able to send to whoever in the planet your crypto on board, off board. We have the solutions. We're very excited, looking forward to greeting so many folks in the way that we do everything here, in a professional, empathetic, kind, enthusiastic manner. As we know, every transaction is going to benefit here. It's going to come into the ILC. It's going to come into the legacy NFTs. It's going to come to the treasury, supporting the whole ecosystem. Liquidity over on PancakeSwap, 198,290 BUSD. ILC reserves, 201,639 BUSD. The ARK price is $1. Strike price pool for today, so far 808.32 ARK, and we're going to find our 240th winner here live today, folks. With that, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to our good friend. Are you there, sir? The Brett.
Hey, how are you doing?
Great. Fantastic Saturday. Very excited. I was getting back in the pocket. So we know what's going to be happening next week. Is going to be really exciting. And tomorrow, 1 hour before the podcast, we're going to give 10 of our legacy NFT holders the opportunity to be the first public beta testers of the Air card. So the first
That's
10
exciting.
people that show up and want to participate, make sure come in 1 hour before the pod, Sunday, tomorrow. I'm going to do a live walkthrough how the system works, and then everyone's going to have an opportunity to purchase a $50 card. They should have at least 6250 or 65 BUSD and some BNB for gas ready to go tomorrow. I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Atlas. That's exciting. And just a quick note on that. I know you're going to go through the walkthrough with them. The website does have a couple tweaks that we are waiting on Alex to make. So, but the flow and everything should be amazing. And once the Air card's out and the on-ramp is ready to go, we should have all those locked up next week. The Terra card will be shortly after that. I've had those in my possession. We've had 1,000 cards, physical cards, in my possession for quite some time now. So we have that set up, ready to go. We've got that narrowed down to how we want to offer it, all of the details regarding the limits and the fees and all those good things. And so it's going to be exciting. That one's going to make, I think, a big difference. The Air card obviously is it's the snack, and the Terra card is the meal at the end of the day. The Terra card opens up all the benefits of even having a real world debit card from a bank. So you can, withdraw cash and super high limits for purchases and transactions. And so that one's going to be a game changer, I think. And just as a note, that's the one that's with our Panamanian bank partner. And so there is some KYC regarding that. With the Air card, there is no KYC. So that's the big difference there. If you're looking to fly under the radar, Air card is the way to go. The Panamanian bank, obviously, unless they have an excuse, they're not going to divulge your information. But as long as you're not giving them an excuse, probably have nothing to worry about. But that is an offshore entity away from the US and the EU. So I think that's exciting, and should have a really good sized market based on what we've been seeing with, Binance and some of the other centralized exchanges cutting off the on and off ramps to, US customers in places where there maybe isn't the clarity that there is in some other regions of the world. So yeah, looking forward. This next week's going to be really busy. Lots of things to do. We have banners ready to go. We have press releases ready to go. Obviously the shorts promo is going to be huge. Thanks to Jishan for kind of spearheading all of that and creating the concept for us and helping out and guiding our admins and everybody. So we're hoping that's a huge success. One thing I did see a question on, maybe Mistletoe can clear this up. I know he's maybe getting in the car, but is the shorts contest going live now, or is there a start date and an end date? I don't know if you can answer that. Atlas, do you know?
It should be. I think what we kind of had planned, it'd be kind of starting off tomorrow in conjunction with the Sunday for the weekly draws, and then it'll be kind of going on for a whole month, because at the end of the month, then we'll do a short of the month, and then the short with the most views.
Gotcha. Okay, so tomorrow's the kickoff.
We're going to wait till there's 5 at least.
Yeah, we have 4 entered now, so tomorrow will probably be a good day.
Great. So we'll wait till we have a new batch of 5 and so forth that way, right?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. So
awesome.
We'll get on 5. I really like
we're looking forward.
Like our good friend Brandon the Drip Guy. These guys are on fire.
Well, and this is going to open a whole new opportunity since we have the on-ramp and the Air card and then the Terra card. These will be easy ones to do shorts with, going to the store like Brandon did, making a purchase, getting that cash back from the Air card and things like that. So I think we've got the right idea. I think it's just going to be, great to see the participation, the community really helping us push the products, knowing that it's going to help, the ILC and the NFT rewards pool. So yeah, looking forward to it. And waiting to see when Alex rears his head and we can get cracking again.
Looking forward to it. It'll be a really, really powerful week here. A lot of FOMO is building. We can feel it in the air. Thank you for the update, Brett. And we usually get Coach Brad coming in probably in about 4 minutes, but Mistletoe, anyway, if you could send me the Wheel of the Toad information in case he is not available in his time. I'm going to do the Sparky first.
Just sent it to you there, Alice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let's go ahead and do the Sparky. Folks, you know how this works. If you're excited, if you're qualified, if you're sitting in the LSA with your 250 BUSD, regardless of what price might be doing, you qualify. If you have a legacy NFT, you qualify. If you've got your bond into foundation, 250 BUSD worth, you qualify. So here's the time, the place. We wish all of you great luck. And if you call out to Sparky, you might get lucky. Let's go.
No, I know. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well. Their father's hell did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they fix, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And you, of tender years, can't know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they fix, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.
Just a second here, folks. Got to put a little more gas on it.
I wanna live, I wanna give. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions I never give that keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting
All right,
old.
folks, there it is. We have today's lucky winner. Their wallet ends in DB99. They've won 730.21 ARK, and they are a first-time winner right into the Nitro mode. What a great boost. 10% of the Spark prize pool has been awarded to the wallet ending in DB99. They hold on a second. That seems wrong. Hold on. You see that? 730. No, it can't be.
Yeah, it's given the same amount for the Spark as the MVP.
It'd be 10%. 73.021. But let me go ahead and confirm. Let's take a quick look here.
Atlas, the MVP wallet is the same as the Spark wallet. So it looks like it's
wallet?
Yeah. If you look at the MVP and the Spark,
I know that our Spark Prize winner is ending in 0B6E. That is our leaderboard with 637 USD. So let me go ahead and check that wallet out. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and check because there seems to be on the front end a glitch as we're seeing the wallet twice, but it cannot be according to the order. So let's turn it over to Coach Brad for the Wheel of the Toad. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello. Hold on a second.
Hello. Hello.
There you are.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I was talking, but I didn't think you could hear me. Yeah, I'll bring up the Wheel of the Toad while you look into the Spark.
Yeah, I think it's a glitch on the front end. It's happened before.
Yeah, the wallet address for the Spark reward winner and the MVP was the same wallet address, so I think it's just a UI issue.
Yeah, I'll confirm it. It is all yours. I've turned off the screen. Let's see the Wheel of the Toad.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so this is the Wheel of the Toad, as we like to call it, the All Aboard giveaway. And how you get involved in this is very quick and very simple. All you do is click on the Sweet Widget link, which is posted in the announcements channel in the main chat. And the contest and giveaways. It's pinned in all of those channels. You just click on the link and you go through the various task list. It might be, for example, to like a YouTube video, clap a Medium article, subscribe to the ArkFi YouTube channel, and you get an entry for each one of those. You complete the entire list and your name gets put onto this beautiful wheel, and we draw this every single day for a chance at $50 to $100 worth of ARK, which currently today I believe is, it's 50 ARK today for the winner. This is really great for all of the content creators that go out of their way to spread the word of the ARK, fly the ARK flag on the various different platforms, whether it be YouTube or Medium or Twitter. So we do ask everybody to please get involved. It helps you for a chance to win free crypto on a daily basis, and it helps the content creators to push the algorithm, and it helps every single person on board the ARK, because the more people that know about the ARK have the fantastic opportunity to join us on board here. So do we have sound effects today, Atlas?
Yes, sir. I'm just a little preoccupied here, but here you go. We can spin it.
Fantastic. Let's go. Good luck, everybody. No way. Can Congratulations. Coin Builders TV, Noah, PH, you have won $50 worth of art. They are on an absolute tear. They have been involved every day since they joined up in the all aboard sessions. Absolutely great to see. And if you didn't win today, don't worry. You have a chance to win tomorrow. Free crypto given away every single day on the podcast. So thank you, everyone, for being involved. And don't feel disheartened if you haven't won. It's only a matter of time.
Boy, do they keep winning. But they're putting the work in. They're sharing their journey every day on YouTube with their own daily stream. It's great to see the journey of the coin builders. I love what they're doing over there. Massive
they
support.
Completely deserve it. They've been on an absolute tear, and the hard work pays off. And it isn't even hard work to be involved in the all aboard. So it's a bit of a no-brainer, Atlas.
Oh yeah, for sure, a no-brainer. And with that, let's go ahead. Do we have our very own? I don't see him in the room yet. Where?
No, I don't see Z with us.
For the DeFi sessions. Let's see if we can get a hold of him. He had a meeting earlier today. Just bear with me a second as we get him on. He's going to be on in just a couple of seconds, folks. Thank you for your patience. Meanwhile, let's open it up to some question and comments while Mr. Z gets in for the DeFi sessions.
Yeah, good one, Atlas, if it's okay. See the air card and the Terra card. Are they both global cards, or is one just for America and Canada?
They're both global. Great question. Fantastic question. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The Terra is a Visa. The card for the Air is a MasterCard. We also have a Visa version, but we, for now, are not going to move with that one. That has a $10,000 balance, but we want to start, with the basics, and we really like the system that we're experiencing with the Air MasterCard version, and then we're going to go into the second gear with the Terra card Visa.
I'm excited.
Happy days ahead, my friend. Absolutely.
Can't wait to make the videos going to the ATM machine.
That was an epic one, man. Never forget that one. Are you going to be participating in the shorts, Fergie?
Absolutely. If I work out how to do I was asking Brandon what software you use, but I've got a lot of ideas in my head. So yeah, I definitely be involved in that. Don't worry.
I'm sure you're going to do some amazing content. Did you get to see Jashan's video with the joke?
I watched them both. Yeah, I've seen the Brandon's and Jashan's, and yeah, it's a high mark to reach. So, but we will reach it.
Hey, a question, Captain. So if I wanted to send with the air card, that normies that, let's say they have Cash App, for example, I guess they need to use a credit card to process. So that's like anything else. We just type in the card, right? And they would be able to draw from that as well, effectively sending them some money.
Huh? Walk me through it again.
Okay, simply put, I want to pay somebody, but they take payment in Cash App to an individual. They don't have anything related to ARK. Can I do that?
Send them cash?
Yeah, because they can receive a payment on a credit card. So it's the same function, right? They just type in the number.
Well, they would have to have a merchant account or Square, something of that type, where they could run your credit card. Right? Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, okay. I don't. Maybe you didn't use Cash App is like a Square. Yeah, it's like a Square, but it doesn't have a hardware like an actual swipe. It can be manually entered. So anything that can be manually enter the card, they can receive, right?
So
I don't
Cash
use
App is
Cash
essentially an online retailer. It works the same way. You would just make a payment, but rather than be buying something from Amazon, you'd be sending that money to an individual's Cash App.
My understanding is Cash App is sending cash to different folks. It's not a merchant for debit or credit cards. Maybe I'm wrong.
But this is a prepaid card. We're using a prepaid card loaded with our MasterCard in the Air card, right? So can't you send it?
Correct. Sir, my understanding of Cash App, just like Zelle, they're very similar products. You could send cash to friends through a transaction through Cash App. You cannot take someone's debit or credit card, process it, and it get paid cash. That's my understanding of the Cash App. Are you referring to a service that they provide where they allow you to take payments in Cash App from folks with debit and credit cards? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I understand the blurriness, maybe the gray area, because yeah, the friend of mine who takes payment from others from Cash App, they have an account with Cash App as well, and then they link their card. So it's not directly. I think I see the reason why it's maybe not as simple. But I guess if I had a Cash App, I could get it, and then I could link the Air Cards account, right? Because it's a prepaid. Then I think I could load it into Cash App and then pay someone in some other recipient using Cash App. It's just like a 2.5%, or I don't know what the fees, little small fees to receive it.
You'd have to try it out, Nato.
Yep.
I don't
Okay.
use Cash App.
Cash App supports Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover.
Yeah, I've actually tried Crow or the Crow card and tried to connect. Like, there's just some funky limitations. Like they don't accept things. So maybe we'll find out. We'll find out in the course of discover here with various
It sounds
ways.
complicated.
Yeah.
I think an easier solution, just if that's what you're trying to do, you could provide somebody with your card information. They could load it onto their Android, Samsung, or iPhone wallet and go spend the money. I think that would be a lot easier.
Oh, that would be a security matter. I would not trust that for someone to get my number.
But it's a virtual card, NATO.
It's a burner, one-time load. So if you owe them $200, buy a $200 card, give them the info, they load it, they could go spend the money.
Exactly. And that is certainly a much easier option for sure. That is the design of the Air card, NATO.
Load. I see what you mean. Limit the load to how much you're going to use right away. Right. Okay.
Let's say a family member. You want to, give them some money. They're another part of the world, or, maybe you don't want to use Cash App. Maybe you want to just use your crypto, right? Not running through the banking system. You go ahead and say, Mom, Mother's Day, Pops, Father's Day. Here, open up your Android wallet. Type this number in. Type the expiration date. Type the CVC. And instantly, they've got the card and go shopping, buy whatever they want, pay a bill, order online. I mean, it's very simple.
Yeah, that's valid, very valid, Captain. It would avoid the fees, like transactional fees, but the only thing I think was the expiration factor of that fund. But
6 months.
They would have to spend it within. Yeah.
It's kind of like buying a prepaid card, like in a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a drugstore, even.
Yeah, but those you generally can't load to your mobile device wallet, from my experience.
No, right, but functionally, it works kind of the same way in terms of how you would spend it, or how you could give that as a gift card to somebody else.
Yeah, if you would give them the card number, they would be able to buy online. But at physical stores, unless you probably send them the card, they probably wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, if I can add, the way to a gentleman who just spoke, the way to effectively avoid the expirational factor of 6 months is just get a gift card from Amazon. If you have a Prime account, you get 5% off and on anything, and you'd be able to purchase it and it wouldn't expire.
I don't believe. Yeah. So
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's
and
workaround.
Nito, right. I'm aware of that. Yes, and I mean I can do that with my American Express card as well.
Oh, does it expire, the Amazon, the gift cards? They don't expire, right?
No, they do not expire. You're right.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, you get
And
airline, you can
that's the
get
fun of it. You get
Airbnb with
to
it. Also,
find all these cool ways, right, to get the most out of the card according to what you want to do with it. So try it on the Cash App. Try wherever you want. Let us know.
there's I think it's called Big Mode. But anyways, there are other service providers that allow you to use crypto to purchase gift cards, and what they do is they're a little bit tricky. They mentioned fine print that we don't guarantee that it'll work. So if you try to spend it and it doesn't give you credit, obviously you're out of luck. So that's something we're going to test. So we need to test to make sure things like that don't happen. But maybe internally or losers. So, but because once you spend, they say specifically, we're not responsible if it doesn't. It should work, but not necessarily, because maybe Amazon will know what it's coming from. I'm not sure how they restrict it. Anybody know more about that or have used that before?
No, I don't. I personally don't. But let's move on with the podcast. In the interest of time, folks, the man, the legend is here. He's live. He's got the latest news from the crypto streets, the DeFi streets, Wall Street, all the streets. Mr. Z, it's all yours.
I think you are on mute, Z, because we cannot hear you. We can see your screen, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We can indeed, sir.
Amazing. So yeah, I was saying, today's Saturday, the 24th of June. So right now my sort of, you can say, my hawk eyes are on Ethereum. So basically, I have a friend who basically looks into like a lot of on-chain data, and one sort of, you can say, analytics that we look into is to see how much data there is on the chain. Like how much is available on the exchanges, basically. Because usually when there's a low of let's say a supply, it sort of hits the price differently. And whilst I was doing this, so I was looking at current Ethereum price, which is at 1879. And like the first few hints you see is that price sort of keeps at a stable point. And when you have these lows, then you fill out gaps basically. So the next gap for like Ethereum is, let's say, 2,160. So I'm sort of speculating that with low supply of data, I've actually put an article up here so we can kind of look into it a little bit. So we'll see. So Ether price eyes 3K as exchanges. Ethereum balances drop to an all-time low. So this is something that's been happening for like 2 to 3 weeks. So Ethereum's on-chain movement indicates bullish pressure build on Ether as its exchange balance reached an all-time low, and staking deposits keep surging. So current price is about 1880, 1873, 1853, 1883. Technical charts suggest that the asset can reclaim 3,000 if buyers are able to push above the resistance between 1900 and 2000. So what it does is, like, when you have like a low supply of something and you basically long sort of perpetual contract, there's chances that this thing can jump in price. So ETH held on exchange. Exchange balance on Ethereum reached a new low at so there's only 12.5% right now available out there to buy. So dropping sharply in the last 30 days, according to Glassnode. Reduced supply on exchange is usually a bullish sign, as it means fewer tokens are readily available for selling. So the net flow volume of deposits and withdrawals from exchanges show a steep surge in withdrawals at the start of June as regulatory crackdown on Binance and Coinbase started. The data has should be taken. So yeah, anything that we sort of speculate here is not the confirmed analytics, and there's many different factors to kind of look into this, but yeah, that's what the data is kind of showing. It's showing that like Ethereum is available in a low supply, and I think the last time we hit sort of the 3,000 to 4,000 region, there was only about 16 to 20% of ETH available on exchanges. So for it to be as low as 12.6%, we'll see. We'll see how this sort of develops. So that's one thing that I'm keeping my eyes on to see if price can hit this area here. So if you see this area here let me just mark this up for you. Right. So low supply equals bullish candle, and we see if we take out this high here, 2,120. So that's the first thing that that I've been kind of looking into the last couple of days and weeks. So that's one thing. Then the next thing is JPM coin. I think we talked about this a little bit, and now we're getting some updates here. So JP Morgan activates euro payment settlement with its JPM coin. So 4 years in, 4 years in, the future giant JPM coin has been usually internally to settle about. So this is the first time they did a settlement as big as 300 billion in payments. So that's quite big. So JP Morgan has gone live with its first blockchain transaction for its corporate client in Europe using its own coin. The JPM coin transaction was conducted by Siemens AG, the largest German-based conglomerate in euro denominated payments on the JP Morgan permissioned blockchain. A bank executive told Bloomberg that this was the first euro-denominated JPM coin transaction. So I think Brett brought this up a few times, and so we kind of I think we went into it together where we looked into Onyx. So Onyx was what was JP? Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. But Onyx was the JP Morgan sort of settlement rail for like a bunch of different things for global payments between nations. So settlements of like, as they say, up to 300 billion or more, and also like private corporate bank settlements as well. So this is the first time we're seeing it in live action. We're seeing its first settlement in euro of $300 billion. So yeah, the bank and other trade DeFi companies have been exploring ways to use the blockchain technology as part of their business. For them, conducting transactions on a blockchain is a potential way to speed up settlements in a secure way. So the current issue that I think even the IMF articles that we talked about what was it? Remittance. Am I saying it right? So remittance is a payment that you have to pay a third party to fix the settlements. And I think JP Morgan are trying to resolve that. So remittance happens on like big transactions. So if you're if you're trading above, let's say, $30 million, then you pay a remittance fees of, let's say, 1% to 2%. That can be quite expensive for like for big corporations, because they do that per hour. Some of them do them per minute. So JP Morgan's first launched its coin service division in 2019. This allowed transfers between various clients' accounts to take place 24/7 using blockchain instead of traditional payment rails like wire transfer. Rather than being confined only to business hours, transactions on the ledger can happen at any day or time. So yeah, though it is now 4 years old, transactions made using JPM coin add up to 300 billion, according to JP Morgan, to process about $9.8 trillion in daily payments. So you can imagine the remittance on basically a daily transaction rate of $9.8 trillion. These are the kind of solutions that sort of JPM and Onyx were exploring with Ariel. But that's the sort of peak of it. On Thursday, German software giant SAP announced that it was using Circle's USDC to test cross-border payments. So SAP, the largest non-American software company by revenue, said that this would hasten the pace of SMEs trying to send money overseas. So this is like the big utility that they want to conquer. So SAP is a big sort of settler of remittance as well. So this is the first sort of enactment. But yeah, so JP Memcoin did a $300 billion transaction in the Eurozone. So we'll see. We'll keep updated on this. I think we look into Onyx even more because it's got like I think 30 of the most like situated banks around the world, and they're going to be using it to settle big payments. Now the last thing I have to like update is Optimism. So Optimism,
say that again. 1% of 9.8 trillion is like 980 billion, and they're doing that in daily fees. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically, remittance when you're doing it between sort of European central banks, it's at that rate because they have to settle it on a daily basis. So if they're short in sort of yens, then they have to do a settlement of let's say 150 billion. And yeah, the big issue that these central banks have is they have to pay 1 to 2% in remittance fees to settle that claim to third parties because of it's insane, right?
Yeah, absolutely insane. When you said it, I thought, hold on, maybe my math's wrong, but it's either 98 billion or 980 billion. The numbers are so big, I can't even get my head around it. But either or, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So Z, the benefit of doing 24-hour transactions will offset the savings that they're passing on to their customers, because otherwise they wouldn't do it unless they're making more money, because they're making a lot on remittance fees already currently, right? So that's why they're going to be net more positive by offering this instant settlement with the blockchain route with this JPM. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically, what it does is so the reason you have to pay remittance. So if we like go into the sort of banking rabbit hole a little bit, what banks have to do is whenever they settle over the counter, so OTC. They have to go through a third party. So usually the third party is basically, you can say a Fedwire if you're going through America, and then there are sort of like, you can say European you can say remittances that you have to pay for, because these sort of agencies hold the most, you can say, on its order book. So yeah, the big issue right now, banks and all these like big sort of firms have is paying over the weekend. That's one thing. So paying over the weekend and having that settled on a Monday morning when the market's open is an issue. So weekends become a tough place. This is why markets sort of dim down and are shut down mostly, because most times it's sort of a weekend everyone's off. And then the other issue is these remittance, they don't go to the governments. Like you would hope if you're moving it into yens, then the Japanese sort of central banks get a remittance, and then that sort of goes to the regulatory, goes into welfare, goes into sort of the public sector. But what's happening is you pay to a private sort of agency, and these agencies, because of their sort of like limited supply of putting that through, and they're sort of like, I would say, individuals, they charge huge sort of premiums, and that's. Is this all making sense, or am I?
No. Z. I could be all wrong, okay, but I've done wires, you've done wires. the exchange rate is fine, but then they charge 45, $50, whatever, and that's part of the remittance, I thought. But it's not an additional percentage like when you run a wire, or am I thinking different?
No, you're making it like you're on point, but it's a complete different thing. You're looking at it from a personal transaction. I'm talking about settlements between the eurozone, so the euro, the US dollar, and GBP. So when these big things happen, there's huge. So their remittance is at a much higher scale. We can really go into this one of these days. I think it's an interesting.
Real quick though, I thought interbanks do use IOUs, so they don't actually have to transfer because the effective remittance that they charge to customers are kind of arbitrary. Is that not correct? Is that not accurate?
No, there's much more to that. Like I know you're on to point, but there are remittance that they have to pay as well. I looked into this quite a bit, and there is an interbank charge, and then there's a settlement charge. So I learned a lot about how the Americans do it with FedWire, but the Europeans, on the other hand, have their own sort of you can say ways of doing it, and then the Asians have their ways of settling interbank. I realized in the three different central banks with three different government policies, and they're like in America, FedWire works a lot with its privatized sort of industry, for example, compared to let's say Singapore, which uses more public sector banks to do its big settlements. So there's it's a big issue in the banking industry, for sure.
Okay, so they're wiping. Thank you, Z. And by the way, did you happen to find out if FedNow is still coming in July?
I still have to look into that. I need more. Like with Onyx and JP Morgan, for example, I'm able to read their white paper. With IMF, I'm able to read their white paper. Thus far, on the FedNow, if you come along with any data, then do send it over. I'll sort of like bring it down. But I'm looking for like with any of these things, I want to read the white paper.
No. Basically, my understanding is it's still on, so I'm not sure where you got that it's not. Like, was there something that you read that indicated it's on pause or?
Yeah. Like what I was sort of what I understood was that it was getting rejected between states, and when DeSantis made the move of completely banning it from like we're talking about CBDCs here. So when CBDCs were banned in the state of Florida, it basically sent like that's what delayed a few things, and then there was about 2 to 3 other states that also stopped it. But yeah, I need to super look into this more, and I would like to like read a white paper or something. So yeah, we'll come back to that for sure. So can we speak about optimism a little bit? I think this is important. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we'll sort of conclude, is optimism, because optimism, as we know, as Vitalik put it, it's the end game, right? So it's between optimism rollups. So we're talking about layer 2s, and layer 2s have a big, you can say, saying of where Ethereum goes, or where you can say utility goes, because currently, whilst the big central banks have the issues of remittance, Ethereum will constantly have the issue of gas fee, and no matter how much the demand gets, gas fee will always be high at its sort of peak moments. So I think we've covered ZK rollups quite a bit. We talked about Polygon and their sort of technology, but optimistic rollups are also a big utility. We've seen Arbitrum use it. We've seen a bunch of big firms start to like measure its utility and start to work on its rails. So basically, optimism is changing its name right now. So it's going through a name change. This was something they were doing on their DAO, So they're a DAO. Let me see if this article kind of covers that. But so Optimism changes name to OP mainnet in line with Superchain vision. So Optimism, the layer 2, let me make this a bit bigger so you guys can see it. So Optimism, the layer 2 network focused on scaling Ethereum applications through the use of optimistic rollups, has changed the project's name to OP mainnet in a move to reflect the objective to create a superchain network of many layer 2 blockchains. It's official. The chain form known as Optimism is now OP mainnet. The Optimism Foundation tweeted, "This distinction clarifies the delineation between OP mainnet blockchain and the collective vibe and ethos that Optimism encompasses." So the name of the OP mainnet will denote the foundation layer of the Envision superchain network, which currently hosts over $1.3 billion in total value locked. TV also. So the OP mainnet relies on optimistic rollups for its operations, a technology that aggregates Ethereum's transactions on a secondary layer. The adoption of the technology allows for faster and cheaper transactions processing, addressing increasing scalability concerns with the Ethereum network. The OP Labs, the developer of OP mainnet, operates a development software stack referred to as OP Stacks, which enables developers to launch their own. So yeah, this is a pretty cool thing. So it enables developers to launch their own layer 2 blockchain. Crypto exchanges giants Coinbase is developing its own blockchain called Base using the OP stack. So yeah, so Coinbase, we talked about working on Base. We looked into its introduction a little bit, but they're using optimistic rollups. So they're using OP stacks to bring in their sort of layers. So yeah, this is it's a big thing. Optimism are looking for interoperability between different mainnets and layers. So they've changed their name accordingly. So OP mainnet is the new name for optimistic rollups. I had friends that are like that are voters on the DAO, and they're like, this is gonna be a big thing. It's gonna mean interoperable moves for Optimism. So yeah, that's the big update. Hopefully these are the kind of things that lead to a $2,000, $3,000 Ethereum and people can take some profit. But I think that concludes the DeFi session for today. Thank you, guys.
Just a quick comment on that. I don't know if anyone followed up on BNB's layer 2 announcement, but they're also using Optimism Stack, and they're testing it now, and it's called OPBNB. So it follows up directly to that article.
Yeah, of course. So Optimism is creating its own, I believe. I'll say, let me find if I can get OPBNB. Yeah. So Binance Smart Chain is creating its layer 2 on it. You have you can say Coinbase that are using Optimism for theirs, and then the third company I kind of mentioned, Arbitrum, the big sort of Arbitrum. So RB are also using optimistic for that. So yeah, it's that's the end game, guys. I think that's where real adoption happens. The use of ZK rollups for Polygon and optimistic rollups to see which ones sort of give Ethereum its utility. But yeah, Binance was, I think we covered that, I think a couple of months ago, that one. But yeah, maybe that could be the next thing we talk about in DeFi sessions. We kind of look into this technology more and to see which sort of players are using which layer 2, because that's where the big utility comes. That's where your settlements happen in banking. That's where the sort of Medicare stuff happens for like data nodes when it comes to like profiling a patient, and all of that stuff has to happen in a fast transition, and it's got to be a layer 2 like Optimism or layer 2 like ZK rollups that can handle that amount of data and transactions. So yeah, thank you for that. But that concludes the DeFi session. Go on, Neto. What's up?
No, this is, I think, pretty helpful. Well, that's one thing. On the earlier part, when you talked about exchanges, exchange data as like an indicator of price or potential price appreciation based on people pulling out of exchanges in anticipation of moves by holding on to the supply. Do you ever use, like, I'm assuming you're using glass nodes or similar tools. Do you use that to predict price action, or discern things like that or related tools? Like I would be interested, I think maybe others, to see how you interpret the data. This is like a snapshot of the past, but I'm talking in terms of seeing the current data from the metrics and say, oh wow, that's good. That looks like you said, we have less supply available in Ethereum on exchanges than we had before when we had the last run up. Things like that to predict a price action. Is that something you can share
Yeah,
more on?
yeah. So Glassnodes is one of the data points we use, and there's a few other things like I think DeFi Llama I've been really public on. So DeFi Llama will show you that the total value locked rate on most of these exchanges. But Glassnode is something that people like the institutes use for BTC. But it also shows you the sort of wrapped ETH data. I think wrapped ETH data is the most important to me because that's where either gets traded or it gets locked into a staking portal like Lido. So wrapped ETH data is all on Glassnode, and currently the supply is so the last time I mean as I said, Neto, this is not like me predicting price action and stuff, but usually the last time we hit, I think 16 to 20% was the sort of ruling before it hit 3,000 to 4,000, and currently we're at I think 12 to 16% right now in supply on
Do,
wrapped ETH.
do institutions use that to determine when they will, like, as a factor, or is it just like good to know, like, you know what I mean, how they have supply zones, demand zones in general, like because they operate with larger volume? Do they factor this in as well in their decision, you know?
I think it's one of the main factors when there's this low supply of something. Then that sort of asset does get. I mean, we've seen firms do that. In fact, not even like the big firms. I'd say even Grayscale. Grayscale has a strategy of buying low supply of things, and that's why they're releasing their ETF to counter that. I think it is a general practice when low supply equals higher levels of price action. So you buy things at a limited supply, and then you take it to a price, But yeah, this is not to say that this is bullish moments or something, but this is like a short-term move that we sort of predict maybe Ethereum gets to 3,000 because the last time it was at 15 to 20% of supply, we touched 3,400 and almost touched 4,000 of that data. So we'll see, man. I think there's many other sort of attributes to look into, but the current data is 12.6%, which is pretty low. Hope that.
Yeah, it looks like they're tightening the supply, and it looks like it's just a general indicator, or another addition. Like if you're a trader, or if you're trading shorter term, it may not be as helpful as longer term. That's what I'm getting. Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. Like this is an indicator. So like one thing we see here, right? So if you can see this is a Glassnode chart here. So Ethereum's net transfer volume from or to exchanges, all exchanges. So this is a 7-day moving average, for example. And what you're seeing here is the sort of deposits and withdrawals, sort of net flows. The net flow of Ethereum deposits and withdrawals from the exchange. And what we're seeing is it's starting to tighten up on the withdrawal side. So these are the kind of indicators that we use. So Glassnode is one, and if people want to like find a more free way to do it, then you can use DeFi Llama to see how much Ethereum is locked up. But yeah, hope that helps. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, maybe another time. Last thing would be cool if you could share what you see on Glassnode's tool. Maybe I know there's different tiers, but like what you would look at on there if you could share. You use that pretty frequently, yeah?
Yeah, sure. We can look into it deeply for sure. I'm up for that. Cool. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Z. That was a great DeFi session, sir. And before we conclude, I do want to confirm that we did verify, and the MVP winner received their MVP reward. That would be 0B6E They brought in one referral with 637.87 USD. Congratulations, MVP. Kind of a slow day. We had a couple of great days where we had some big buy-ins. Today has been pretty much a weekday. ILC's really been doing the heavy lifting. So we continue with our patience and understanding that there will be plenty of opportunity, plenty of time for folks to come in and rally. We need to keep supporting this price level. It's a great price to be at. It's a great place to really take off from. It's a great, stable place to be. Thank you, everyone, for coming to today's podcast. For the folks that are listening, we also want to thank you for your participation. Hopefully, you're doing your, research and everything that you want to get out of the podcast at a later time from YouTube. If you haven't used it yet, please make sure to go check it out. Subscribe. It is pinned and listed here. You're able to guide yourself through the chapters within getting a background there. Is that easy?
Yeah. So sorry, man. I want to make a quick announcement if you don't mind. I forgot to make it.
Right.
So all the podcast, you can say, so normally we see them we sort of convert audio files in Discord. Now we're seeing that all the YouTube podcasts are being uploaded with our bot, with our Dynabot. So you can get the latest podcast on the podcast subcategory in Discord.
That's super cool. Yeah, I saw the post about that. Love that you guys are showing it there because it's a great place to really get all the information in a very quick manner. You have the chapters. Our very own Mistletoe is uploading it within minutes of us concluding here every single day. And he's putting the chapters, so very easy to guide through. Please make sure to comment, thumbs up, subscribe. We need to really push the membership as well as the algorithm, bring all of these podcasts all the way to the top, as it is a great tool when folks are doing their due diligence. We're going to be back tomorrow. It is going to be the Sunday service here at Ark. Our great friends Bizy Dips and Max P will be coming through and sharing their fantastic work. They always create these great videos, the week in review, all the alpha that's gone down here throughout the whole week, all the information you want to get to. This is the place to get the summary. And of course, you also get to see their journey here on board the Ark. So folks, we wish you all a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Please take care of each other. Bye-bye.